So she released her first solo single
after leaving
Little Mix.
Rip.
Yeah. And it's very bad.
Yeah.
She's the main thing that's been leveled against her is that she's been accused of blackfishing, and blackfishing is when white people excessively tan and act in a culturally appropriate way.
Change features,
use AAVE, and
edit pictures in a certain way.
Very like they're all at it, but the Kardashians
are a big example. But to be honest, this isn't the first time this has come up against Jesy. She's had this criticism for a couple of years now, which I feel like is a prominent thing to mention because she seems to think this is the first time anyone's ever mentioned it to her. But it was quite obvious when she, a white woman, was darker than all the other girls in Little Mix. Yeah. And most people up until now believed that she was not white.
I think I was under the impression that she was biracial. I think
most people were. Most people are having this shock come to them of like, oh, I remember her, but I remember her when she was on Little Mix. On X Factor, and she was very much white on X Factor. Yeah. You can't really hide that from people. It's out there. No. Anyway,
so in this video, she's collaborated with Nicki Minaj, and people say that Nicki Minaj's verse really saves the single from being entirely bland and boring.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like stereotypes. It's supposed to be her moving into this like neighborhood that doesn't. It's veiled racist.
Yeah.
Stereotypes that are being played on, and the problem. So people say there's, this is really obvious. You need to maybe have thought about this. I can't remember the exact what's it called, order of things, but Leanne has DMs exposed, but people say the DMs are fake. They might not be.
It seems to me that they're fake. Like if they don't see, maybe they are, maybe they're real, but from what I understand, they seemed quite fake. It seemed bizarre.
Yeah.
That they would all be really quiet about her leaving, and then suddenly she would message a random person and be like,
yeah.
It seemed a bit bizarre, but
essentially, they just say she's blackfishing.
Yeah.
And I tried to tell her about this a year ago, and she handled it really badly. And she went mental about it. Jesy went mental about it to the point where she brought it up on a live stream with Nicki Minaj.
Which was a disaster.
Which was an absolute disaster. Nicki Minaj is basically just attacking Leanne, who's just given birth to twins like 10 days ago at this point. She's just had 2 babies. She's clearly in like a vulnerable position. She brought up a valid point of criticism that Jesy didn't want to hear. And Jesy just sits there and like laughs and smiles as Nicki Minaj is like just spewing horrible stuff about Leanne.
Yep.
And it's just like it's horrible. It's just nasty to see.
It was not pleasant to watch.
No.
And Jesy, at this point in time, I think she's come up with like a PR response now, but just would not take the criticism at all. Would not accept it. And she says, it's just hard for me because I was in a group with 2 women of colour for 9 years, and it was never brought up to me until the last music video I did with them. Maybe, like, they don't have to, like, it's not their job to educate you on what you're doing wrong. But also, they did bring it up to you then. They did. Yeah. Maybe they weren't super aware of it and then the penny dropped on that last music video, and they suddenly thought, this is really bad. And if you go and watch the last music video they do together, it is noticeably worse than it has been before. She's very clearly blackfishing in that video. So there's maybe a reason that's when they decided to bring it up to you. I don't think they're all jealous of your solo career.